That looks better, right? Am I muted still? It's working now. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little thing to like get the audio to work on your stream, on your live stream. I'm on a new desktop environment. Does anyone use Linux here? Cricket? No Linux used. But the fun part and like annoying part is that you can just like drop in a whole new interface for your computer. So I was using Plasma, which was like a cool kind of modern interface, but now my computer's getting older. So now I dropped in, what is this one? LXQT, which is like a lighter interface. But now there's all these like things that I'm trying to work out. Just like a whole new, it's like a whole new computer without actually, but I didn't change any files or anything. Anyway, all right, cool. So now we've got sound. And we can take a look at like the things coming up down the pipeline. So nothing's really like due until I guess 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks, yeah, like September 5th over here. I guess we can look at it month view, right? This calendar kind of drives me crazy, but anyway. So we got all of this week, and then there's this thing called a reading coach, and I'll pop that open in a little bit, but just so we know like what's coming up. Each module will have like a reading coach assignment, and then we'll be working in class on the homework assignment, and that'll be due like the following week. And then the next week we'll spend 2 days working on like the module project. And then jump into, like Friday will be like the kickoff for module 2, like discussing what are we doing, how do we get, like, what's the point of this? Yeah, so that's like quick snapshot of where we're going. Then we'll rinse, wash, repeat for module 2. And then module 3, we'll do the same thing. And then module 4. Module 4 I kind of crammed in right before Thanksgiving break so that we can get everything that's required done before Thanksgiving break. And then when we come back, everything is either revision work, like go back and work on things that you wanted to improve, or maybe you learned. So like one of these things is that the more you practice, the better you get at it. So by time you get to module 4, even if you've been struggling the whole time, like, I don't get this is so hard, if you go back and try a problem in module 1, it's gonna feel a lot easier. Like, oh, I know how to do this. Like, I've already done this 10 other times. It's a skill just like any other skill. The more you practice, the better you get at it. So that's why I like to block off like a whole week of just time for you to either go back and revise or try something new. You can jump into module 5 and like try doing that one. Module 5 is all bonus work, just extra credit. So and then by then we're just done. No final, no midterm, nothing like that. How's the schedule look? Does it coalesce with your fall semester and expectations? Cool. How many seniors? Who's doing like senior design? Everyone. Is anyone not doing senior design? There's 2. Okay, cool, awesome. But if you're doing senior design, this class is like, you can take a lot of the stuff that we're doing in this class and plug it right into your senior design project. Like take Jupyter notebooks and start analyzing data and kind of like, and making some simple models. Like when Professor Moreno, Professor Lee tell you like, you need to build a model, they're not saying like, go build a CAD model, start doing finite elements, and then figure out what the structural integrity of it, and then do FVA and like CFD on top of that. It's like, no, just take an idea of like, all right, I know when I push on this thing, it's gonna bend. Let me make a graph of like amount of bending versus force, and then you can make a graph of that. So it's like simple engineering models. Linear is usually the best place to start. Like most of engineers, like 90% of what we do is all like linear analysis. And everything on top of that, we're like, nah, just no thanks. Cool. So take that. And if you're not in senior design, this can go, I mean, this can go for any class. Like, I think I'm a huge proponent of like Python, Jupyter, open source software in general, but you can use these kind of tools like whenever, wherever. It really helps accelerate a lot of learning and tool and like applications that you can do. What do we have so far? I've just been talking the whole time. Yeah.
So we saw your name on the slides for senior design. What's like your role?
My role?
You're just like a helper, an advisor, or...
Oh, in what was the context for senior design?
We saw your name on the slides.
It just came up.
Yeah,
like Brian Cooper, just name dropping.
Yeah.
We know this guy. He's famous. Yeah.
You're right. You're like.
So usually, senior design, I'll help out. There's like you end up doing like 4 like presentations. I think it's an oral presentation, then a poster, then an oral, and then a final like demo day presentation. So usually those first 3, I'm one of the graders for that. Like I'll step in, answer questions. I'm also, same thing, like I was talking about how you can take this class, directly apply it to senior design. If you're like, I think I could do it, then like you're more than welcome to come by, ask. Like it's a very easy way to nerd snipe me and most professors. If you ask them a hard question, they're like, "Ooh, yes, I think we could do this." And but yeah, Python, MATLAB, Julia, if you're getting into that, and Nathan and Flammy Wham. We'll get to reading coach in a minute. Yeah, so that'll be me. I'll be there for like a third of the. 3/4 of the presentations, but 1/3 of them. So 1/12 of the presentations I'll see and assess. Oh, let's do student view so you can see what you see, not what I see. Okay, we're ready for our reading coach like demo. This was an experiment that let's see, view instruction. I like the new Husky Ultra Husky CT, but it has a weird, like for assignments, it just tells you like, hey, it's due, but there's information there that you have to say like, all right, well, let me see what I need to do first. I feel like the instructions should come first and the due date should be on the side. But who am I? I'm not a UI expert. So I built have you heard of like agents, like AI agents? It's kind of like these models that have some kind of pre-prompting to them. So it's an AI model that has some prompts that I gave it specifically to say like, I want you to be a coach for someone. They're trying to learn this module. So in this case, module 1. So you do have to sign in because it's like UConn Copilot. Okay, it did remember me. And then it brings you to like, hey, do you want to open this agent? And it's like, yeah, I do. I know that guy, Ryan Cooper, he's famous. So we have 2 options. We can either learn about the topic, and as we saw last time, like AI, like very much, you need to check what it's telling you, because it's specifically a tool that is meant to engage you, like make you feel like you need to use it more, but using your own resources is always the best check. So you can either learn about something or take like a reading quiz. And so the learning coach assignments are take the quiz and then show me what your conversation was. it'll give us like an A, B, or C kind of grade, but that's not the grade that, I'm not going to give you a C because an AI agent told you like you only have a C level. Like I don't, so far, usually what's happened when I did this over the summer was like 85% of the conversations, I agreed with like everything. The AI agent identified what was correct, it identified what was wrong, and then gave helpful advice. But the other 15%, it was giving like wild, inaccurate advice, and then also misgrading the student. So I always check every conversation just to see what it is. So let's take a reading quiz, and just paste in that like reading quiz thing. Test my knowledge. And I already did all the pre-prompting of like, here's your role, this is the task, this is what we're doing. So it changed the question. What is the output of the following Python code? What do we think? 3 plus 4 times 2. 14? 3 plus 4 times 2. 14. No?
MDOS.
MDOS, yeah. And wait, what was it?
MDOS.
MDOS. Yeah, order of operations. Okay. So not 14. What do we think? We're just doing it together. B. Let's type in 11, see what it, like really mess with it. So then 11, correct. Tells us 4 times 2, 3 plus. Okay, so now it'll give us like a more challenging one. Here's a function, myfunc of 3. Do you know how to use functions in Python? Yeah. Why use a function rather than just like a calculator like this? Yeah.
You can plug in numbers from different variables and get different results without changing the whole equation.
Yeah. So if you have like an equation that you're using over and over, or maybe it has like a whole bunch of variables, like here we just have one input, x, but it could have x, a, b, c, d, rho, v, like it could have all these other things. So we could reuse it and kind of figure out what's going on there. Yeah.
Just like cleans up the code so you don't have like the same, if it's like a long function, it can be
Yeah.
like a generalized thing you do a lot, you have like 20 lines, 8 times, but just one line
Yep.
8 times.
Yeah, so this would be a great case where, like, if I need to fit parabolas to stuff, I can just create one parabola function and just reuse it over and over, or apply it to a whole, like, vector of stuff. I could say, like, what is my func of 1 through 20, something like that. Am I missing something? It's like a buzz. Okay, what did we find? What is my func of 3? Three squared. Yep. 16? I'll go with it. I'm not going to check. Correct again. Let's break it down. Cool. All right. And it seems like it's giving us like helpful kind of tidbits of information, right? Again, for the most part, it's kind of like 85% you can trust it. But there's always that 15% where you don't know. You don't know when it's going to throw in a real curveball and say, okay, what is truncation error? This one's a tough one because we haven't talked about it at all nor explored it. But there are, so like numerical methods, 2 types of error: truncation error and round off error. So based on those 2 vague descriptions, round off versus truncation, do you think it's floating points, rounding, ignoring higher order terms, syntax error, or decimal errors? Yeah. B? Yeah, so truncation error is, everybody loves Taylor series expansions, right? So most of numerical methods, we take a Taylor series expansion and then say like chop, like, okay, we're gonna call this a parabola for every like small unit here. It's all gonna be a parabola, or it's all gonna be a straight line. And that's a truncation error. And we can solve truncation errors by just making all of our spots really small. Like everything looks like a straight line if you zoom in close enough. Yeah, so let's do that. We'll say B. Three for three. Oh my God, it keeps going. All right, let's just faster. Okay, there we go. So I answered 4 out of 4, and I have a strong comprehension. And this is the part that I have not figured out how to make it better. Of like, so each of these like outputs, you can say edit in pages. Or you could like copy the response. You could copy your response and so let's say for my submission, I wish there was a way to just like copy everything all at once, but here all we got is really, we can like copy one at a time. So you can either do it this way, where you're like grabbing each input-output response and pasting it into the submission, or there is an option to like, we can say edit in pages. And then we can start adding all these responses to pages. So this would be the other way, is like you create what Microsoft calls like a page, and it has a copy of all these questions that it gave you. And if you just get the outputs, that's okay. Like if you're not grabbing like your inputs to it, that's okay, because usually it has some kind of summary of like what you were doing. But for the most part, what I want to see is like, what is the conversation that you were kind of creating with this tool? Yeah.
Is there a non-AI version of taking a reading quiz?
Do you want to not use AI? Okay, that's fine with me. You could. Yeah, what do we want to do there?
I mean,
I like that.
I don't see why there couldn't just be a list of questions that is on a PDF and then respond on the PDF.
Yeah. So the reason this one is like an AI tool is because AI has become so common in coding. Like even whenever you even when you're using like a lot of coding environments, like they just automatically input AI stuff.
Yeah, but this isn't really helping you code. This is just asking you a question, which could be done on a PDF. And if your response is to have like feedback, you know, you can just post the answer and say, oh, this answer is wrong because X, Y, Z, and just have it on a separate doc that someone can look at.
Yeah. Yeah, and, that's fine. If you do, because I know you brought up a great point last time of like AI, should we even be supporting this industry of AI? And I'm really glad that you did bring that up, because a lot of people they're focused on a lot of other ethics of AI and not the main question of like, is this even worth using? So I'm fine with finding alternative assignments if you want to stick it to the man. let's fight the power. I'm fine with that. We'll figure something else out. This is more, so this assignment, I built this specifically because so many people are using AI and I want to give more practice using it effectively, that it's part of the workflow in a good way. And that's why this is here. Yeah, thank you. Sound good? Yeah, so definitely if you are in the camp of like, no AI, never, then yeah, let's work together. I'm sure we can find something just as meaningful as an AI generated reading quiz. Yeah.
So how do you get the agent from the?
So let's close this. I'll go back into it. When you click on this reading coach assignment, oh, all right, it's going to tell me continue attempt. That's okay. There's this link at the top that says Copilot. And then it takes a second to load, but it like thinks about it and then tries to figure out like, all right, what is this? And then gives you, it should give you something like this where it says like, can you open it?
Yeah, so I get the same page as that, but there's no open button. It's just that page with the open button right there. So I'm not sure if you need to like grant this access or something.
There should be access.
I did that like a minute to just get the open button.
Yeah, sometimes it takes like a couple of seconds or a refresh page or something. Or if you click the link again, like it's definitely not a bug-free experience. Like we are on the cutting edge of learning technology here, the bleeding edge, which means like we're gonna have to deal. Like over the summer, what happened? I built an agent, gave it to people, and one person, no matter what, the agent would come up in a weird, like it just totally destroyed their user interface where they couldn't even use the website anymore. And then somehow we like reloaded the page, created a fake agent, and then everything worked. It was fine. And there's no rhyme or reason why that should be the troubleshooting process of like, you have to close, go to this other version of the website. But anyway, so we'll give it a shot. But that also, so we were talking about like being on the bleeding edge and things coming up, alternative assessment sort of stuff. There are due dates for everything, and if you turn something in by the due date, no like questions asked. Like, great, you're on schedule. If things are coming up and you can't meet a deadline, then there should be some note. Like either you can't meet the deadline or you can't do the assignment. There's got to be some notice, like a professional courtesy. I think you've all done group projects at this point in your educational careers. If you have a group project and one person says they're going to have something done by Monday, and Monday comes and there's nothing, no text, no email, and no evidence of work, it's frustrating. Like it's just like, dude, it's okay if it's going to be here Tuesday, but just let us know like what's going on, what's happening. Like, do you need extra time? Are you stuck on something? Do you need help? So for every assignment, if it's going to be late, there's no permission needed for it, but let us know how much time you need and then how you're getting help. So sometimes all you need is time. Other times, like the assignment just doesn't work. Like you can't get this thing to work. And then, so what's your next step? Are you coming to class to ask questions about it? Are you going out to the TA to find help? So those are the two things that I need if you can't turn in the assignment. Sound reasonable? Okay, cool. Some practice of professionalism. I'm also big on like career skills for my classes. So one of them is like professionalism, like how were you communicating with people? How did you interact with everyone? Were you able to accept feedback with grace? Like, no, you're wrong, I'm not wrong. Yeah.
So I figured it out.
Nice.
It works better on Google Chrome versus.
Oh, versus what?
Safari.
Safari. Yeah, that makes sense. Microsoft, because Microsoft Edge is like a Chrome thing, so they probably did a lot of like testing with Edge. So now it works on Chrome, but I'm sure. Actually, I think some Microsoft employees have MacBooks. Not all of them, but it's not uncommon because all their servers run Linux. But. All right, what else do we have? Yeah. So as long as the conversation, like you can paste in, so like in here we have, ooh, if it's, all right. Like that's a great way to do it. If you want to take, and even a Word document, like you can submit Word documents and those get rendered in Husky CT. So PDF or Word doc is great for either of those. Or you can just take the text and kind of pipe it in there, like paste it. Yeah, like the Word doc is nice because now it's like a formatted conversation. And it looks slightly better, right? So depending on how like into visual representation you are. If you're just like text is fine, gets the information across, that's okay. And even here from the Word doc, I could just copy everything and paste it into this response. And then it helps format a little better that way. Like it has some of the colors and some of the equations show up a little better sometimes. Did it delete equations? Maybe. Cool. And what this is meant to do is like give you credit for doing reading, rather than just saying like do the reading and it's on you to give yourself credit for it. All right, so that's our reading coach. And then next class, we can start working on homework. We can jump right into like some problem solving. And in the readings go along with the homework. So for the most part, each homework assignment is meant to reflect like whatever is in the pieces of the reading. So a lot of times it is kind of copy, paste, edit, kind of get things to work. You can always like write stuff from scratch, but sometimes you're like reinventing the wheel. So you should be able to find like pieces of code from the reading to get the homework done. And then projects, that's where we're like practicing, trying to do something new, visualize something or build something. So let's take a look at homework. And when you go to the homework, it's just a web page that has like each homework problem here. And the thing that I have set up, there's lots of ways to run Jupyter Notebooks, but the one that I set up for us was through NanoHub out of Purdue University. They have all these servers set up where you can log in and it'll take this whole website and turn it into Jupyter Notebooks, and now you can edit and save your work, and you have a copy of this whole resource. This whole website and this whole class is all free, open source, general use, public license. So you can edit it, reuse it, and kind of like if you wanted to take some of your work and turn it into your own like website, you can take this work, publish it as your own. If you're taking like any of the text and problems, and you should credit back to the class, back to this original source, and you have to maintain the same license. So it's free as in free beer. Like you can take a free beer, but you can't take that free beer and then go sell it to someone else. That's like the general kind of open source policy for software. Okay, then anyway, let's launch this Jupyter Hub. Brings us to Purdue's NanoHub, and now I can say launch tool. But it's going to ask me to sign in. And if you've never used NanoHub, then you won't have a sign-in account. You can sign in with a Google account, which I know we don't have Google accounts anymore, but a lot of people have personal Google account, or you can create an account. The institutional credentials don't work. I don't know why they don't work for UConn in particular, but they just don't. So you have to either use Google or create an account, either way. And you can, if you create an account, you can use your UConn email, and that's fine. And everyone has a password manager. No? I highly suggest it. One, because I can't keep track of passwords, and then two, it's a lot more secure than just like storing your passwords in a browser. And it's an actual, like, you can get to it, like you can save it somewhere. Logged in. Well, let's terminate that. So usually what happens is when you log in, it'll just bring you to like your page, and there won't be much there because you haven't used it before. So then I can come back here and say, now that I'm logged in, I can launch the tool. Come in. And if we all try to log in at once, we can get a nice like DDoS attack. So we'll take our time. When I was in middle school, it was still like early days of the internet, and we were having a library, like computer lab session, and the librarian connected us all to the internet. She's like, all right, let's go to this website and we'll all learn about whatever, volcanoes. So she's like, everyone type in www.volcanoes.com. So we all like 25 middle schoolers typed that in. And she's like, wait, and she went around and checked every person's computer to make sure we were at the right website. And then she's like, and now, and we all hit enter at the same time, and the site crashed, and we couldn't access it. And she's like, what happened? I don't understand. It's all right. And she went and like troubleshot and had us all do it. Like the website finally worked for one person, so then she had us all do it again, and we crashed the website again. And she didn't understand that she was having middle schoolers just playing like Agents of Anarchy on this poor volcanoes.com website. It was amazing. Just thinking about it. We're going. We'll get there. So NanoHub has like everything there that you need. It'll have like whole course website, like all the readings are there, just in a Jupyter format. Once we actually get there, it's really moving slow. We'll get there. But I wanted to show, it's also the whole course website. It's all hosted on GitHub, so you can like create your own copy and then use any kind of Jupyter interface. Like some people like VS Code, other people run Jupyter on their own computer, but you can grab everything and run it on your own computer if you don't want to always be like using the internet to go use an assignment. And if you're interested, if you want to do that, but you're really not sure, like you just want to try it, like I'm happy to help troubleshoot that process too. Man, it's really, come on, man. Just keeps hanging. Just thinking about it. All right, anyway. I'll let that load. Okay, what other, while that's loading or waiting on NanoHub, did you look through syllabus? Were there any questions here? Yeah.
Same question for my answer is, do those, whatever it's called, the coaching, what are those evaluated as part of our grade? What section of the syllabus was that on?
Yeah, let's do that. Grading. I should update this because I usually, and this is a good question for now too. So with the learning coach assignments, those are part of participation grade. Participation grade is also self-assessed, where I'll send out a form, ask you how, halfway through the semester, like week 7, week 8, send out a form, and you give yourself like an A, B, or C based on how you think you're interacting with the class. If you feel like you're kind of shut off, you're turning in the assignments, but you're not actually interacting with anyone, you can be honest, because you're going to throw that grade out anyway and submit one at the end of the semester. But you can say like, hey, I have a C right now. I really want to, like, I want to connect with the class, but I don't feel like I have anyone that I know or that there's a learning community for me. And those reading coach assignments will be part of that participation grade too. You can also kind of mention, like in you're like, well, I should have an A because I've gotten an A on every reading coach assignment. I talk to other people and we work on it. We work on things together. So that's participation. And then homeworks and projects make up the other like 30–40%. So then usually what I do is I have everyone sign up with a GitHub account so that you can use GitHub discussions. But the last couple of semesters, it's felt more like it's just me and 2 other students just talking to each other on GitHub discussions, and I'm the only one answering. Is there another like discussion or like online platform that you actually use? Yeah.
Why not just use the integrated Husky CT?
Do you like that one?
Not particularly, but I don't.
That's
like
that's why I don't use it. I don't like it.
I
Nobody.
don't like making more accounts.
Yeah.
Another thing to
Limiting
check.
accounts is what I'm trying to do here. Yeah.
You could use Discord. I know that's something a lot of people.
Yeah, Discord. I know computer science. A lot of people love Discord, and I like Discord. I've used it before, but some people are. What other things have you used? Is the Husky CT forum worth? Do you post new discussions on Husky CT forums? Have you ever done? Has anyone done that? Like post a question on a Husky CT forum?
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
you need to like make the section that you can post. I don't think you can like make your own section.
Make a section. Yeah.
Like if you go to it on the page right now, it's like there's no option to do a discussion.
No, yeah, right now there's not. And I'm happy to like make that if people want to use it. The main thing is like creating, let's see, discussions. Yeah, right now there's nothing there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm happy to like enable that if that is a tool that people want to use, or if there's something like, if you prefer, I mean, I even hate to say this, but Teams, does anyone like using Teams? Nah? Everyone has a Teams account. Okay, yeah, that's more my speed. But I was trying to get a sense, think about it. We can set up any kind of discussion platform that we want. Classroom, since we're here like in the class 3 hours a week, this is a great place to talk to each other, talk to me. But having some kind of online asynchronous platform is usually helpful, because then it has a record of like, why is problem 2 so difficult? What am I supposed to do here? With like some code and then like maybe a few answers there.
I mean, even if you decide on another platform, is there any reason not to have the built-in Husky CT1 just in case someone doesn't have the other platform?
I mean, this one's fine with me, but it's just, yeah, I've never liked it, so I've never used it. I've never like went out of my way to use it. Yeah.
I think the Husky CT1 is probably easiest.
Easiest? Because everyone has an account,
I
right?
don't know everybody else thinks that's just
Okay. Less accounts, mo accounts, mo problems. Yeah. All right. Thanks for not found. That was weird. I don't know. If you get this like 404 not found, like I just did, I don't know why it gave that to me, but I just clicked this link for Jupyter and then it sends me right to the page that I was looking for. I don't know why I couldn't find that to begin with, but computers are weird. Sometimes they do weird things. Okay, so now we've got Jupyter up and running. It has Python, and we'll use the fancy terms, it has a Python kernel associated with it, so we can run stuff. So I'll go into CompMech 01. Each reading has, sometimes there's like little exercises or questions like within the readings. I can do those. I'm not asking you to turn them in, but it's your own, for your own like kind of interactive reading process. Let's jump down. Actually, let's go right into interacting with Python. And we'll just see how things are changed. If you've been in my classes before, you have had to use Jupyter, but some people, I think some people haven't been in my classes. So has everyone used a Jupyter notebook before? Yes? A little bit? Okay. But I can use like arrow keys to move. So if it's blue, that means that that's my current cell that's selected. And I can kind of move around. A shift enter kind of takes whatever I'm looking at and executes it. So there's both text and code. So let's come down to the first like line of code. Print hello world. Like I don't know why, but you can't learn a programming language unless you print hello world. It's just, I don't make the rules, I just follow them. So I print hello world. And I'm like, oh, cool, that was fun. But now let me print something else. I'm Batman. Exclamation. Oh man. That shouldn't take this long, but. are we all accessing this at the same time to cause it to freeze? Is it my internet? What's going on here? I mean, I'm streaming without a problem, right? I don't know why this is taking so long. Is everything taking this long? It's not fast, that's for sure. Oh, there we go. Now I'm in. All right, so I'm Batman. Now it worked. And then we can do like calculator stuff. 9 to the 1/2. So as this one's thinking about loading, what is this going to give us? 3? 3 makes sense. 9 to the 1/2. 4.5? Why 4.5? That's not.
Order of operations.
Order of operations again. Yeah. Yeah. It's thinking about it. It'll get us there. Yeah, other option is 9 to the actual 1/2. Yeah, moving slow. Hopefully next time internet cooperates a little more with us. One day it'll be there. Catch up. All right, cool. Next time we'll get started working on homework 1. Thanks a lot.
Hello.